There'll be times when players come to us, with proposals or thoughts, and I'll give you an example. We have a dual read protection system where, if it's an even defense and the mic is to one side, the center, the guard, and the tackle of that side are dual reading. They have the 2 down linemen plus either Mike or Sam. We're 3 for 4 in the protection system. So one time Matt Light came to me. And now Matt Light played for us for 11 years, which is totally unique in this business nowadays. Good players, after about 4 or 5 years, they get these $60, $80 million contracts and they're gone. They're not going to be Patriots again, usually. So Matt Light came to me and, he said, hey, I know we got this call that says we're 3 for 4 and we got Mike to Sam plus the 2 down guys. He says, but I'm going to tell you something now. He says, I got this guy named Dwight Freeney sitting here on the end. I got to block this guy, but also I got to see if the mic rushes too, because that's part of the call. And so what Matt said is there's times where I can't see him because he's too far to the inside. And I thought about that and I said, well, let me think about it for a bit. Okay. And then the next day we implemented the Matt Light rule, which was that if we had a dividing line where if the mic got beyond a certain point where we thought the tackle could see him, we made the call that made it 3 for 4. But if he was inside that dividing line, then the center would pop himself out. He would declare a pop. The guard and tackle took the tackle and the center blocked Mike the same. And that then became the Matt Light rule. And he has had credit for it forever. And we've done the same thing with calls. We used to have a technique that we called, it was a 3-man zone call with the center, guard, and tackle. And we wanted the guard to go a little bit slower, especially if it was a 2-eye technique. And so we said that was a slow over. Okay. And, Dan Copen came to me one time and said, Coach, why don't we just call that a slover? Hell of an idea, Dan. From now on, that's a slower call. Okay. And so we always credited the players, and believe me, we had a Steve Neal call, a David Andrews call. We had a call from a lot of guys because of the suggestions they made. Those suggestions were good ones. Okay. There's plenty of times they're not so good. And I would tell them, hey, all right, wait a minute now. Sometimes I would dismiss it out of hand, nah, it's no good. Or I'd say, we tried that a couple of times. It's not really good. I'd rather not do it that way. And I think they respect that. But I do believe this. Those guys that are playing the game out there can be your greatest source of information. And, if they can't do what you're asking them to do physically, like Matt Light's situation, then, maybe there is room for change, but you never know it unless you hear them out. Okay. And then the final thing I'll say about dealing with players is I think it's important to know everything you can about them. Who's their girlfriend, who's their wife, what are their kids' names, okay? What's their mom and dad's names? What's the background of that guy? All right. The more information you can glean from the players about where they are, where they've come from, I just think it really only helps in getting to know that guy and getting to know that guy as a person. I think it's hugely important.